FlossTube number 119. It's a lot of episodes to show you guys how much time I have on my hands. Welcome back. Stitching in sequins. That's me. Not stitching in sequins today. Stitching in polka dots. Yeah. Thank you for returning. All kinds of goodness, as usual, to show you guys. Back from Vegas, which was amazing, much needed getaway and recharge, and thank God there's no photos. Let's get into it. Last time I gave you guys a I don't know where my thought was going with that. I offered a giveaway. Queen Fragrance. And is this just called Grace and Grace? I picked winners randomly. I will be sending out Queen of Fragrance to Suzanne Camp. Congrats. And Grace is going to Sarah Brunsfloyd. I will comment on your comment. Send me an email. Get a hold of me. However, my information is down below in the description box. I'm slacking. I don't have a giveaway for today's episode. I will not be giving away my shoes or my purse that I bought in Vegas that I will show you at the end of the video in case you want to peace out for that. Rhonda's Originals. You guys remember I purchased some designs off of Etsy. You guys remember I finished Shameless Hussy. She is offering for the next 2 weeks, starting today, September 11th, through September 25th. If you go to her Etsy store, I will link that down below. Use the coupon code SEQUIN25 and you will receive a 25% discount. So head on over there. She recently, within the last week and a half, she's uploaded a couple more designs, but follow her on Instagram because I know she has more in the works. So hopefully those will be out before the 25th and you guys can snag those. I have not kitted up to stitch another one from her yet, but I feel like I want to stitch that hand because it has 1884 on it. We shall see. What else have I been doing? I told you guys in my last video that I was almost done with a diamond painting kit that was sent to me, color relaxation, I believe, down below. I'm going to get up because I have it actually. Let me show you where I have it hanging. I have it hanging on the back of my door. So I used to have silks hanging there and I have like these 3M strips. But I took the silks off, put them in a container in my closet, and it just happens to work there perfectly. So let me grab it. So yes, I was correct. Color Relaxation. They contacted me. Hey, we would love to send you out a kit. I talked about it a few videos in the past, and this is what it looks completed. I love the abstract look of it. I loved all the colors, and it's a good size. It's a 50 by 50 centimeters. Yeah. And they're round. I prefer round drills. But it's like, I'm definitely a multi-crafter, but I don't, knit or crochet or quilt. So you could say that along with cross stitch, I sort of dabble in diamond painting. There are times that I just want to change it up, and I have found that doing the diamond painting kind of gives me what I want, and then I go back to cross stitch. So yeah, that was really great to do. I will link their website down below. Thank you guys so much for sending me out that kit. I do have another diamond painting kit coming. I just got the email that it was shipped a couple of days ago. So when I get that, I'll show you guys that, of course, as well. But yeah, color relaxation, if you've never tried them, go give them a look. Link down below. If you've never tried diamond painting and you want to, highly recommend. Let me show you guys what I've been working on. I think I have three things to show you. So I'm not doing any sort of sampler September or spooky September. I was thinking maybe like one new start every week. Small, so I don't add to my, 8 current whips that I have, which I know some of you guys are like, 8? That's nothing compared to my double or triple number. So what I started, and this was, I don't even know when I started this, a couple weeks ago, I think. Deer in Grass. This is from Finger Work. And yeah, it's not something that I would typically gravitate towards, but I thought it was just cute, and I can make it all small, and I got tiny little frames. So I'll stitch everything except for the year and the name. So that's all I'm planning on stitching. What's really strange about this pattern, it does not come with a thread guide. Now there's a thread legend: grass green, steel blue, pink fawn, olive brown, Indian pink. I couldn't figure out what threads they were talking about. Did I like spend minutes and minutes scouring the internet trying to figure out? No, I just typed in and nothing came up. And I decided I don't want to put that much time into it, so I'm just going to pick my own colors. And it's easy enough to do since I have the DMC cabinet. I can just pull them out. Hey, I like that green. Hey, I like that blue. So that's all I did. I went off of the picture on the front and said, okay, I need a lighter green and a slightly darker green. Just pick 2. So that's what I did. And here is where I'm at. I am doing this on 40 count, something 40 count. And I really like how cute it is. I started on the grass last night. I was trying to watch Netflix, but then you get sucked into Netflix, and the next thing you know, you're watching Netflix and not stitching. Oh, that's what happens. Now you're like, McKenna, what the hell are you using to stitch? No, my Dubco has not arrived yet. That'll be hopefully, definitely before the end of the year, fingers crossed. This was a stand that came with the last Stitcher stash that I acquired. The lady had to sadly give up stitching due to her eyesight. This was in the box. Now, am I using it how it should be. I don't know. I don't care. But I love that I can unscrew it here and this goes completely straight. And then I can angle this and actually have it down on the ground, and I can just keep it propped up between my legs. Or I can set this on the table and stitch. So yeah, I'm liking it and super excited when I get my Dubco one. So yeah, that is Deer in Grass. I'm just using, again, DMC. And I got tiny little frames I'm all excited about using to frame it all up at the end. Another piece I was working on, this is Witch's Brew Halloween Sampler by Primitive Stitchin'. This is available on Etsy. Do I have a printout so I can show you the full thing? I do not. But basically, you can see it's stitched up super fast. The letters, I like the font of the letters. The C is a crescent moon. The bats. I am stitching this on 40 count vintage sand dune by Lakeside Linen. So I am working on a tree. There is a witch stirring her cauldron. There's a cat, a ghost, and a headstone. That will all go down below. And for this, am I using the called for threads? Which I think are just, again, DMC. Yeah, just using called for. And I will link that Etsy store down below. My son is texting me, wrong person. Great, Ayrton. I needed to take something to Vegas to stitch on, and a couple days before I left, so I left this past Monday. I think that was like the 5th or the 6th, and then I came home on Thursday. Needed to take something because my girlfriend works in the vet animal industry. They were having a convention in Vegas. I said, well, I only live 4 hours away. She said, drive up, you can stay with me. Yes, please. So I knew most likely I would have some time to stitch because she had to work. I didn't. This is from the work basket. This is called Procession. I want to say I have 1 or 2 of these copies in my store. Check out 1884stitchery.com, and I have a tab where you can just use the search, the work basket. So this is the Procession. Now, this girl's dark hair. I'm trying to think what else has the textural element. I think all 3 of the girls' hair, they're either like French knots, just to give it some texture. And then the flowers are all satin stitched if you so choose. I might do that because I don't mind doing satin stitch, and it'll just add some sort of textural element to the whole piece. I'm using DMC, and this is where I am at. 36 count, 1/2, and Edinburgh linen 36 count. Yeah, flax from Zopweiger. So I don't know about you guys, but I had always been sort of, I don't know, weird about the 30 count range. And I think it's, you know, I'm usually just let's do it on 40, right? It's small. The coverage is great, 1/2. I like one thread. But then I also don't mind doing things on 20 counts or on Ada. But for a long time, the 30 realm sort of turned me off. And that was because I know I had started stitching things on 36, 38 count, and I wasn't liking the coverage. And I could never remember which one was it, right? One thread is too sparse, but then you can't do two because then it's too chunky on the back and it's too, you know, raised and puffy. So when I would go and buy fabric, I would just completely skip the 30 count range. I am stitching my Mirabilia at the Met on 36 count. And I did her skin 1/2, which I kind of regret not doing the whole thing 1/2, but like her clothing and everything else is 2/2, which it's fine. It's not too chunky for me. But I think that's why I've sort of put her to the side, because I would have preferred the 36 1/2. So I think 38 count is the count that I don't like, and I prefer 36 count. So that prompted me to do Procession on 36 count. I love the coverage. It's, yeah, just super, super amazing. Now, will I never do 38 count? No. All counts, all types of fabric, if it's Weeks or Zweigart or hand-dyed or whatever, it's all gonna feel different. Some weaves are tighter, some are looser. So I haven't ruled it out, but right now I'm loving 36 count. And because of that, when I was in Vegas, it's kind of like when you're in Vegas, right? You can make a whole new identity. You go there for a few days and you could present yourself to total strangers, this person you wish you were, right? And that's why a lot of people act a lot crazier. If anything, I find my people in Vegas completely sober and maybe a couple drinks in, but even so sober, I'm acting like crazy me. So I think it's mandatory when you cross the border, you have to go to Stitcher's Paradise. If you've never been, one, what the hell are you doing with your life? And put it on your list of things to do if you go to Vegas. There are plenty of other things to do off of the strip. Hiking Red Rock is amazing. Going around Old Town Vegas, the Neon Museum, great things. Stitcher's Paradise, a little bit of heaven, right? So, and Gina is absolutely wonderful. Let her know McKenna sent you. When I went, I, of course, had to stop. So I woke my butt up early. I was there, was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. Anyway, went a little nutso. If you saw on my Instagram yesterday, I posted a huge stack of charts that I had purchased. I kept 2 for myself, and I put the rest up on 1884 Stitchery. 2 designers, 2 new tabs on 1884, or use the search box up at the top and type in these names. the work basket, bright needle. So a few of those items have already been sold, but make sure you go and check out and see what is left over. Let me show you what I purchased for myself at Stitcher's Paradise. Witching Hour. This is from Gast. It is a combination of a brown with a slight purple hue, slightly variegated. I'm excited to use this. And I think it would be too much to use on one of these two fabrics because I'm sort of anti, along with a lot of other things. Variegated thread plus variegated fabric. It's too much. Pick one, right? So this I will be adding to my stash. Stitcher's Paradise, Gina has a little side room. It's the fabric room. It's amazing, isn't even a word to describe it. It's heaven. It's not even heaven, it's more. Right? It's like dirty mind. It's like the best orgasm you've had, and that's a feeling, right? But it's a room and you can visually see it. Can I get that on a t-shirt? Will someone figure that out or just send it to me on a mug? Great. Copyright. I picked up. My throat is still healing from Vegas. Not like that, you sickos. Dill, picture this plus. Loved that. This was 13 by 18. And then Voodoo, another picture this plus. Amazingness. You go into the room and she has shelves that are all by counts and you can see all the fabrics, and she'll pull out the fabrics and cut it to whatever size you want. But if you look on the ground, she has bins with already pre-cut, and I love those because then you can kind of just get a sampling, like, hey, I've never stitched on a red fabric. Let's try to get a red little small snippet and try it. And just for a few bucks, you could get a lot of ornament or small size cuts, variety of colors and counts. So yeah, that's where I usually go to, unless I have a specific project in mind with a specific fabric. I don't do the wall, I just do the bins. The two work basket charts that I kept, I'm going to be doing the mermaid. Come on. Maritime Quakers. You get two. You get the whale, which I got nothing against whales, and then the mermaid, right? Here's the design of, good luck on that. I mean, look at her tatas. She's amazing, right? So, Maritime Quakers. I keeping this one. And Stitch in Time. Purchased this. This was the only copy because I bought multiples of many charts and I saw this. Got a little wet. So don't know if I'll stitch it or what. I really like the colors, the mauves, bluish purples. Are those freaking geese? You guys know how I feel about geese. Or swans. Mostly geese. I'm still bitter, don't want to talk about it. Speaking of which, let's talk about, so that's what I bought at Stitcher's Paradise. Let's talk about State Fair. So yesterday, the 10th, was the last day to sign up, submit online for competing. I've decided not to compete this year. And it doesn't have anything to do with COVID or being around people or my things being out there. I mean, shit, I just went to Vegas. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling the excitement that I usually feel about the state fair, you know, the whole TFD. And I think I was disappointed in myself not getting at the Met finished, because I had said that that would be a piece that I would submit this year. And I just wasn't really sure what pieces to submit. So I'm all fine with it. Totally cool. Let some other people take top prize. Other people can get TFD. I'm sitting out this year, but full force 2022. I need some new pasties, right? Oh, trigger word, Vegas. So stash unloading. You either love stash unloading or you hate it. I don't list anything on stash unloading because holy crap, the rules. But I did buy this. This is Cricket Collection, A Walk in the Woods. I don't know what it is with me and letters and alphabets. I've always liked this. I've seen this stitched up in person and it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, A Walk in the Woods, going in my stash. While I was gone, I got a delivery from the Ukraine. Yes, they're out of Ukraine. I stumbled across this company on Etsy late at night. I got on the fence about it, got off the fence about it, got on, got off. And then late one night, I was like, F it, I deserve it, I'm buying it. It is from the company. I will link it down below. I will link the store down below, as well as the listing for what I bought specifically. So if you want to be twinsies, it's from Art Inspirate. Inspire? No, Inspirate. Art Inspirate. And my room smells like fresh cut wood. I bought the Skull and Rose bobbin set and accessories. And from date of purchase, it took like 2 weeks, which was fine. It's not like I'm in any hurry. And I paid a total of $138.24. Let me show you what I got. So first let me scoot forward. Here is this box, right? This incredible skull. I don't know if it looks like Bo or Charlie. I think they're kind of silently fighting over it. I can't hear them. The roses, really nicely made. Oh, it smells so good. You open it here. Magnets, and it's for your needles. There's an extra magnet with the adhesive on the back. And it's deep, maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch deep, 1/2 inch deep, but deep enough for a pair of scissors, if you so desire, to line up the magnets, keep it in here. There are a pair of skull scissors on Amazon that I need to buy to complete this. So, and how the Etsy store is set up, if you just want this, you can purchase this. You can just purchase the needle minder. You can just purchase the box. I purchased everything. So yeah, this is really, really cool. Here is the box. You hear things fall, but I don't think they're gonna tumble out. So the same image on top of the, let's call it scissor case. Really, really nice, and you can feel that it's all etched in. And then the skull rose design is all the way around the box. Now, they could have just hinged the back of the box with 2, but I love that they did it with 3. It's a lot more secure, a lot better quality. But look at the hardware is even intricate and ornate, right? And then the latch, I love this. Look at this. So you swing that into the hole, so you have it unlocked, and then you have to lift this up, and then it opens up. So, whoop. So the thing that was here is if you decide to put your DMCs in here. Now, fully bobbinated kit, or fully, if you bobbinate the whole kit of DMC, they will not fit in here. But this is also a list of not all of them. But I guess you could go off of this to store some of them, right? This would be great if you're doing like a HAID and you want it all in one box. Great way to organize. So I will not be using this card reference in any way. They're not stickers, but it's just an organization, I think, tool. I believe they even sell these. So I don't know if this was just a freebie thrown in, but they did throw in some clear DMC bobbins that they do. Now they're not thick. They're definitely, you know, on the thinner side, but they are labeled and then have a color. So like the 310, it says 310 and it's black. And I believe they have this with all of the DMC. So you could bobbin them all like this, and then you see the little colors. So also included in my, what did I spend? 140 bucks. You get a needle minder that is finished on both sides, the skull. Now, because it's the skull on both sides, you can make it 2 separate needle minders if you wanted to. They're not heavy. I don't see them dragging down my fabric. So you can use it just as a needle minder or 2 separate ones, which I love. It gives you that sort of option. And then also included was 100, yes, 100 wooden bobbins. Here they all are. And each of them, try to pull one out, has a skull. God, I'm trying to balance all this stuff. There we go. And they have, if you'd want to put them on any sort of ring as well. So 100 wood bobbins, all with the skull on them. I will not be putting DMC on these because I have the box, but threads that I have put away, maybe some silks I'll put on. I'll figure out some way to use these bobbins. They're also so gorgeous, like you don't want to wrap thread around it because then you don't see the image. They have, and then she also threw in some extra bobbins with showcasing their other designs. So if you like this sort of box scissor needle minder, they also have like a Celtic design. They have a butterfly one, sort of Moroccan inspo. But I saw the skull one. So these, my first idea was using it to organize projects that I work on in my room here that doesn't take me super long time. You know, you have projects that you know you just won't travel with. So that's what I plan to use this box for. For example, deer and grass. I have one of the Michael carts that I put all my whips into, and I just have all of the threads just piled up here on the top. Well, my OCD gets to me, and I would want them to kind of be a little better organized, just so it's kind of not a cluster. So that's the great thing about this box. It's divided, and so I can use like this section, and I'll know that that's all my deer and grass threads. So yeah, I will link all this goodness down below. Packed really, really well. No issues with shipping. She sent me an email saying that it was shipped with the tracking. And I was absolutely floored when I did track the package to see how quickly it had arrived in the US. Etsy had given a delivery time of like September 14th to the 25th. And I believe it arrived here on like Tuesday. So now, can I say that that's how it's going to be if you buy one? No. But that's how quickly I got one. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Love the craftsmanship. Definitely worth it. What else? The stitching portion of this video is done. What's new is all finished. I'm going to show you, if you would like, my, not splurges, want, purchases, two purchases that I purchased for myself, hashtag thanks Joe, when I was in Vegas. So if you leave now, thank you so much for tuning in, and you guys will see me in the next episode. But if you would like to stick around and see what I purchased, ridiculous, stay. All right. You guys know I'm a shoe whore, and I mean that in the best way. It all started with Joe. If you know the story, we were in Vegas a few years ago. If you're new here, was in Vegas a few years ago. We were walking to go through the forum shops. he said, hey, let's buy you like a bag, a one-time sort of purchase. And I'm like, great. My heels broke walking through the casino. Well, screw the bag. I need a pair of shoes, right? Well, there was no Kohl's or Target, obviously, at the forum shops. Went into a store, Sergio Rossi, bought a pair of shoes. Joe was slightly intoxicated. And I got some really nice ones. That started my whole, oh my God, I actually really like shoes. So fast forward, I've bought a lot of shoes from Sergio Rossi. Fast forward, go back to the forum shops. Sergio Rossi had closed out, moved out of the space out of the forum. Fast forward, I turn around and there's a Jimmy Choo store. I'm hooked on Jimmy Choo's. Comfortable as hell. I need to be sponsored by them. So, of course, had to go see what was new in the store. I had to buy a pair, right? These are what I purchased. Wedges, super comfy. The top part is a black suede, and the bottom has sort of a blue vibe, but I could definitely see if I wore something blue, this black would give off sort of a blue hue. They were up and there was a light shining on them, and instantly fell in love with them. They had a more neutral pinky color, but I liked these. These stood out a lot more. And my girlfriend that I was with said, it looks like stars on a starry night. So pearls go all the way around. Absolutely love them. Yes. And the good thing, here in Arizona, I can still get wear out of them, seeing that it's still high 90s. So yeah, got those. Would have gotten probably another pair because I was saying, oh, I would like to try that on. Oh, I'd like to try that on, but they didn't have my size. So Joe escaped. I was good with the shoes, but then walked by Salvatore Ferragamo. Joe has some of their shoes, belt, some men's stuff. I've always liked one of their purses in particular. I could justify spending a lot of money on shoes, but when it came to like a purse with like a comma in it, gave me like second thoughts about it. Well, I must have been in the right mood. I blame that Bellini that I drank at lunchtime. And yeah, went into Ferragamo, saw this bag, and fell in love. It is like, I don't know what color I'm gonna wear today, so I'm just gonna put them all in a purse and wear black, right? Love this. So it's all hand woven. They're made in Italy. Absolutely gorgeous. The strap is gold tone, leather, opens up. The weave is in there. You get a middle pocket. This opens up. Another zipper pocket. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah. Not sponsored by Ferragamo, but I mean, I won't turn down any sort of sponsorship if it's Jimmy Choo, Sergio Rossi, or Ferragamo. I texted Joe while I was in the store and said I found a bag. He said, nope. And I said, you don't even want me to tell you about it? Nope, don't want to I said, well, I'm going to send you a picture. Nope, I don't want to see it. Nope. And so I sent it to him, and his response was hideous. The sales guy was dying laughing. He's like, well, does that mean like a no? And I'm like, I know you just met me like 45 seconds ago, but him telling me that it's hideous, I'll take 3. He's like, well, we only have 1 in the store, so I can only ring up 1. I'm like, perfect. And I said, well, can you throw in some shoe horns? So Joe walked away. I'm always thinking about Joe. I got him some high-end shoe horns, and then they also threw in some really nice Italian soaps, which I have to think about soaps. Like, do I use them? Do I hold on to them? Made in Italy. It's all in Italian. I love it. So, shoes, bag, stitching. Vegas was great. All right, that is it. I'm going to get this uploaded on this gorgeous September Saturday. Amazing how time flies when today is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. I was the type of kid I would wake up on my own without my parents' help, and I would watch the news. And I remember I was watching CNN, eating breakfast downstairs. My parents were sleeping, and I went upstairs. And I don't know about you, but growing up, it was like your parents' bedroom was like an automatic off, like off limits. You don't go in there. Doors are shut. You don't go in there unless like you're bleeding or the house is on fire. And it was like, of course, unspoken rule. And I remember I went upstairs and I knew what I was watching on the news was big. And I had never heard of the World Trade Center. Obviously, I knew that it was a building where people worked, but I didn't know the magnitude of it. What a staple to the skyline of New York it was. And went into my parents' bedroom. My dad woke up, explained to him, very like, yeah, like this plane went into the building, and I can't remember if they were both struck at that time or what. And I said, but yeah, like a plane, they're saying like a plane purposely went in. And I remember my dad shot up and like came downstairs, and he was like glued to it. My dad lived in New York for a couple years, and I want to say he had gone to the Trade Center for some work, something. I can't remember. If you're also new here, my dad passed away just a little over 2 years ago, so it's not like I can really text or call him to get that straightened out. But yeah, amazing that it's been 20 years here. You know, things like that happen, either big in the world, you know, moment, or big in your life, like my dad's passing, and I can't believe it's been 2 years, right? 20 years is a long damn time. Long time. And just think how quickly it has just gone by. Feels like yesterday. And now it's like I'm a mom, and I've graduated high school and college, and I'm married. And at the time, I didn't even want kids. And Joe, I didn't even know he existed. And this morning I wake up and, you know, I scan through Facebook, and they had NBC News or ABC News had a thing going on Facebook where you could watch, you know, some 5-hour event, them reading of the names. And I showed Cal. Cal is he's an old soul. Cal is an old soul. and I was showing him like, hey, this is what they do every year. And of course he has some knowledge of 9/11 and what had happened. And I said, yeah, it's amazing to think that it's been 20 years. Well, he's sitting and watching that whole 5-hour clip of reading of the names and the newscasters talking about, you know, where they were and their thoughts, and them showing old news clips of how, you know, Diane Sawyer is sitting, and then they get this, hey, there's been this news that, you know, one of the towers is on fire. And so Cal watching that is just crazy. But yeah, Cal was getting emotional reading the names. He was tearing up and crying, especially then when kids go up and say, you know, and my father, blah, blah, blah. That really wrenched my heart. And Cal was getting emotional. And then he's like, well, are you going to watch the whole thing? And I said, well, I know it's on YouTube, so I can go back to where I stopped later today or tomorrow and finish watching the whole thing. He's like, yeah, I've already cried 3 times and Ayrton wants to play with me, and I feel like I should watch the whole thing though, the reading of the names, because I feel like it's disrespectful if I stop. And I said, and that was like, and I said, you know what? Just remember where you're at, like timestamp it or screenshot what name you're on. And I said, you can go back later and you can continue watching. But yeah, just crazy, crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I won't see you next time because I can't see you, but you guys will see me next time.